Take action in times of crisis. That is the call Governor Ralph Northam put out to Virginia at his State of the Commonwealth address last night.
Joining us now is Governor Northam to explain more on that. Governor, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me this morning. I hope that you and your viewers are staying safe and healthy.
Of course, thank you to you as well. Let's start with what continues to be a big headline this morning, what happened on Capitol Hill with the riot. We know security is ramped up both at the nation's capital in D.C., but also in Richmond. What more is being done to ensure that lawmakers and everyone else is safe?
Well, we want to make sure that there's a safe transition of power, a peaceful transition. That's what our democracy is all about. And just what we watched a week ago was just despicable to see fellow Americans, terrorists, attacking the nation's capital. As you know, Virginia was one of the first states to step in and help out. I received a number of calls on that Wednesday afternoon that they really needed our help. And so we sent over 200 of our Virginia State Police, and then we activated our guard. They were on the ground the following morning. We've got over 2,000 of our guardsmen and women in Washington right now to protect our democracy. And so we're taking that very seriously. We also have threats to our capital city here in Virginia. So we've made sure to protect and get ready for that. And as I've told folks, I don't mind peaceful protests. That's what the First Amendment is all about. But if people are looking to come to Richmond for trouble, we're going to be prepared for them.
Governor, can we talk a little bit more about that? Because obviously the FBI has come out. I know they talked with you. They've talked with other state leaders and governors about potential action at state houses. But you also have Lobby Day coming up on Monday. And last year that turned into a gun rally with 20,000 some people. I know you changed the gun laws at the Capitol itself, which I believe is closed off, Capitol Square. But this is said to be a rolling rally this year. So there is some concern that there will be, for lack of a better way of putting it, a lot of people coming to town with guns next week. What are you doing to make sure that you keep everybody safe?
Absolutely. We dealt with this, as you said, back in January, and we made it clear that we were not going to allow people on Capitol Square. You remember what they said, that they were going to overtake our Capitol last year. So we had a police presence here. The National Guard was here, and we're going to do the same thing this year. And, if they modify their plans a bit and are on our highways, we're prepared for that as well. This is a time when this country needs to come together. And we're pleased to be able to have the resources that we need. But the message out there is that, why should we be using our resources now, such as our National Guard, to protect from fellow Americans? We're trying to, get through this COVID. Our National Guard is being used to do testing and vaccinations, and that's where they need to be right now, not in our nation's capital and not certainly here in Richmond. They need to be out in our communities doing what they're good at doing.
Yeah, speaking of that, we are dealing with everything else with this pandemic and rising coronavirus numbers. We know that the health department in Virginia is overwhelmed with people trying to set up appointments as we're now in phase 1B. Is there any solution that's being brought to the forefront here to help try to smooth out this logistical process?
Absolutely. This is a major undertaking to get 8.5 million Virginians vaccinated as quickly as we can and as equitably as we can. And, I was in Alexandria 2 days ago. They had a vaccination clinic at T.C. Williams High School. 800 individuals were vaccinated. But we need to move more quickly, and so we've made some adjustments, some modifications. We have goals now, which I think is very important. We're going to go to 25,000 shots a day and then get up to 50,000 as quickly as we can so that we can get Virginians vaccinated by the summertime. I brought in a kind of a field general, Dr. Avula, who's overseeing the vaccination project. The National Guard will be participating. And finally, we have, met with our hospitals and our health departments and said, we need to get shots in people's arms. We don't want any doses to go unused. And so we've really ramped things up, and we're going to 1B across the state. We're lowering the age from 75 to 65. encouraging individuals with pre-existing conditions to be there to take the vaccination. So a lot of things are happening, a lot of moving parts, but I just want to assure all Virginians, this is a top priority for us. To be able to get Virginians vaccinated is really that light and that hope at the end of a long, dark tunnel. We're going to get there if we work together.
Governor, I want to tap into your expertise as a doctor, not just a politician, when it comes to the relief from the coronavirus or just the situation we're in right now. Virginia's seeing it just as tough as many other places, reaching a peak now in January of 2021. Are we doing enough?
Well, you know, we've taken some fairly stringent measures in Virginia, and I think everybody knows of those to get our restaurants to 50% capacity, to close our bars down, to continue to encourage people to wear masks. But what we're seeing right now is a bump in our numbers after the holidays. We expected this, and so we're following the data very closely. We're working with our hospitals, making sure that they have the capacity, especially the staffing in place to take care of these individuals. We had a little bit over 5,000 new cases today, over 30,000 new tests. Unfortunately, 70 additional deaths. So we're following the numbers very closely, and I really think if people continue to follow the guidelines that we've put in place and we can get people vaccinated, we'll see these numbers come down so that we can get our children back in school, we can get our businesses back up and running, and really get our economy back up and running in Virginia.
Well, as you mentioned there, it's certainly a light in the distance at the end of this long, dark tunnel, but we've still got a ways to go. Governor Ralph Northam, thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for all you do.